Brad Williams, Excel Prime, lookup record, show the last match. This is creative. We're going to use what's called a quasi fallback. And what I mean by fallback is the way lookup, we're going to use the lookup function here. The way the lookup function works is it's predominated by the creative part of this whole thing. You see this lookup function we're going to implement? We have this lookup value of 2. We have this lookup vector, the result vector. The language is a little bit different. You know, we bounce around from tool to tool, and lookup is legacy. This is really old stuff. So we're using lookup vector and lookup value and result vector. Other formulas we use the lookup, and we don't use, vector and what have you. We're not flying airplanes here. But the concept or the creative part of this thing is the fallback. The fallback is this lookup 2. We're looking up 2. Our attempt is to try to find this last match. We're trying to find this down here. And using this creative 2 will allow us to do that. Here, our anatomy. Let's look at this thing. We have this lookup vector, lookup value, the vector, and the result vector. We have this ISNUMBER because we're dealing with texts. We also have this find. Take a look at our map. The end result will be this FA004. The lookup value will be 2. Our lookup vector 1 is number. Notice we're nesting. Then our result vector will be record 298. 298, our name range B5 to B11. That's what we're looking for. This other information is purely cosmetic. Over here is our write-up. Lookup file, show the last match. The analysis, using a formula composed of the lookup, ISNUMBER, and find function, you can locate the most recent version in a list. Here's the formula. In the name range, as I just noted, in this example, several file versions are in a list with a date and user ID. Observe that file names are repeated with a counter appended as versions number. Notice we have FA, FB, FA, FB, FA, FB, FA, and we're looking for whatever is this last match. This formula uses the lookup function to locate and retrieve the last file name that matches the specified data set. The lookup value is 2. That's the creative part here. And the lookup vector is constructed as follows. 1 divided by ISNUMBER, find G4, record 298. The find function searches for the value G4, FA. Within the name range 298, the resulting list appears as follows. 1 value, I'm going to show that to you in a second. Here, the number 1 represents a match, whereas the value error represents a file name that does not match. The list is passed to the ISNUMBER function, which returns the following results. True, true, false, false, false. Well, our record is FA. Notice I pointed out FA, FB, FA, FB. FA will be true, FB will be false. The error values are now false, whereas 1 is now true. This solves the first problem. We now have a list that clearly indicates which files in the list contain the file name of interest. The next step is to use the list as the denominator and 1 as the numerator. The result appears as follows. 1 div, 1 div, 1 div, so on and so forth, which is used as the lookup vector in lookup. This is a difficult solution to problem number 2. The lookup function only operates in approximate match mode and ignores values automatically. This indicates that a lookup value of 2, the lookup will attempt to locate 2, fail, and return to the previous number. That's the rollback. In other words, we're going to go down and we're going to search, and it's going to keep throwing a bunch of negatives, and then it will reach this 7th or 8th, whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It'll reach the 7th. It will say, well, I'm done. It will then select that last record and put it in as the last record. Confusing a little bit. Why? Because we're falling back. There's nothing explicitly that says we fall back. It's just the way lookup works with this lookup value of 2. Here, the lookup value 2, the lookup vector F9, 1 div, 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 the result vector F9. I'm just going to show you this information here. Escape. We want to look a little deeper in here. Find value F9. Here's our values. If we want to look at this lookup value or the lookup vector, we just did that. We want to go in here and look at this. Here, I think that will work. Okay, is number over here, F9. And you can see the true, false, 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 trues. The key thing here is this lookup and how it works. You're going to fall back on this. If you need it, read it. Look at the anatomy. Take a look at the map. Break this down if you need to. Brad Williams, Excel Primed.